Today we come to you from a very distant place, from the star. You might call it the Star of Bethlehem. We come from that place where we see everything, where we send our love, our light, and our blessings to you for this holiday season, for this day of Christmas. It is indeed a very beautiful day in your heart when it is open and you are filled with love, the love of the Christ, the love of all things that are benevolent for life. Just as we sit here beside this beautiful tree, beside the water in the beautiful forests of Santa Fe. It is a very important time on your planet, a time of very deep introspection. It is almost as if you are taking a breath. It is as if you are holding a space to cross a threshold from an old world into a new one, the rebirth of the Christ, of the light, into this world. The sun has ended its cycle through the spring and the summer and the fall. And now it initiates the period of the winter, that time of gathering around the fire with family, that time of bringing into your heart some cheer through warmth, through music, through dance, through story, through whatever it is that brings you peace, that brings you the delight of sharing with your family, with your friends, and even of your own self, of doing ceremonies, of doing rituals, lighting candles, sitting and meditating. It is a very important time to reassess everything you have ever accepted as what we shall call the gospel. For even many of the gospels are as much a lie as many of the things that circulate in your environments today as truth. And so it is very important to examine everything and to let go of all your illusions, of all your stories. Even the greatest story ever told is actually one of the greatest lies ever told. The truth is that there is a Son, not the Son of God, for that is who you are, be you son or daughter, but that Sun which is the center of your solar system. And as you spin around that sun, each year it appears to disappear into the cold, dark winter, for the days to become short and for the nights to become long. A time for going into the dreamland, a time for quiet, a time for more peace, hopefully. So it is important at this time for a great reassessment of your direction. It is important to take a step backwards, to stop pushing and rushing and trying to make something happen at a time when everything is falling apart. Everything is being dismantled. Everything that you once thought was normal, that you held dear, has been dismantled and is breaking apart, disintegrating into its component atoms and molecules, because we are approaching a time when everything will have to be reconstituted, when it will be necessary to rebuild the new earth out of the ashes of the old. And it is a time in which you are being asked to hold space for something new in your own heart, to Shine that light to receive as much light as you can into your system, to keep your immune system strong, to keep your heart strong and positive, to keep your love glowing and radiating out to those who are less fortunate, to send light to those who dwell in the darkness, who wish to control and whose only interest is their own pocket, their own greed. This has been going on for so long now. You have become accustomed to this as being the way things are. We wish to tell you this is not so. It is time for you to listen to the voices of your heart, the voices of that space within you that know the truth, that understand that you have been deceived endlessly over many lifetimes. It is time to face the truth. You do not need an external god or goddess. You have within you the beautiful bright light of God's creativity shining within each cell. It is embedded within your heart that there is a memory of that divine spark that once upon a time ignited something within you called life, and that you were able to express your own unique selfhood. And we are asking you to remember that spark, to remember that fire, to pass on that spark as if you were in a relay race, to hand that baton from one to the other, to your children, to your grandchildren, to your friends and family, to remember that that spark that is within you can ignite a whole world. You can create a conflagration of all the lies, of all the deceit and illusions that are bombarding you at this time. There is nothing to fear, for you are eternal, you are immortal, you are infinite, and you are universal. You are an aspect of the divine. In reality, you are an expression of the divine. It is embedded in every cell, your immortality. And so we are coming to you, beginning to speak with another 12 voices that bring to you different ways of seeing, different ways of understanding, and different perspectives on everything. We invite you to join us as the 12 beings and the 13th, the Christ, who are the part of what we have been calling the New Earth Council, are expanding the field and bringing forth another 12 voices. And as these 12 come forth, they will combine, they will magnify, and they will elaborate, and they will create an energy field that is so much larger than 12 plus 12. It shall be multiplied, just as the plagues of Egypt, a multiplication of many locusts. We are not intending to harm you in any way. We wish to encourage you. We wish to help you to assimilate as much light as you possibly can, and then to radiate it out into all those spaces of the dark shadow. We wish you to begin to recognize that your shadows are your keys to understanding the truth of who you are and why you are here. These 12 voices will eventually merge. These 12 as 144 will eventually coalesce and become one voice. The true voice that is a reflection of your own voice within you, of your own true nature, as a creature of divine providence, that you have been created in order to blossom, to have power, not power against or over, but power to create a new world of love and harmony and peace. For it is a time in which we wish peace to all men and women and children and creatures, and to all life, goodwill, the energy of the heart. And so at this time, we invite you to consider this journey of the 12 and the 12, to becoming one voice, perhaps your voice, for your voice is important. Do not forget that your light is important, and your truth is important. Beyond all the stories and all the illusions, all the orchestrations of what the media represents as truth, your story can be a light unto others, or it can be a burden around your neck. It depends on which story you focus on. Is it a story of love, a story of hope, of comfort, of joy, of peace? Or is it a story of deep sorrow and regret? Can you learn to forgive those who have harmed you? Can you learn to forget and forgive yourself for those moments in which you harmed another, so that you can move forward into a new earth, an earth filled with love and light, peace and harmony, with enough for everyone, for there is more than enough. And so on this day of Christmas 2020, as you approach one more turning point in your civilization, and you face the question of whether or not this civilization can survive, it is important to fathom that which is sustainable and to differentiate from that which is no longer sustainable, and to let go of the past that did not serve you and embrace a new future. And so we are sending and radiating our love into your heart, so that you have a Merry Christmas, and that your new year is filled with resolutions that become fulfilled for the greatest benefit of all of life and Mother Earth. We bless you in the name of the one voice. Oho.